the K-pop universe has been shaken once again by a revelation that no one saw coming, a development that has sparked waves of speculation, debate, and emotion across the world. The heart of the storm lies in two questions. Why did Taehyung suddenly appear regretful about a decision made by HYBE, the company behind BTS's meteoric rise, and why did Jungkook respond with an action so unexpected that it left millions of fans stunned? For many, this moment feels like more than just another headline. It carries the potential to mark a turning point not only for BTS but also for the global music industry that the group has helped redefine. The questions are loud, the emotions louder still, and the energy surrounding this controversy shows no signs of slowing down. BTS has always attracted international attention, whether through their music, personal milestones, or corporate dealings, but this latest development has set the fandom, known as ARMY, into a state of frenzy. According to multiple insider accounts, Taehyung, celebrated for his loyalty, depth of character, and careful handling of sensitive issues, could not contain his emotions after what many described as a major HYBE decision. To those who observed him, his regret wasn't expressed in the form of an official statement or polished press release. Instead, it came through subtle expressions, gestures, and moments of visible frustration that were impossible to ignore. For a member as controlled and measured as Taehyung, this shift was striking. The revelation instantly fueled speculation. What exactly was the decision? Why did it weigh so heavily on him? Observers close to the situation suggested that his unease was tied to a larger, long-simmering conflict, the battle between artistic independence and corporate control. For years, BTS has symbolized freedom of creativity, authenticity, and cultural exchange. They built a legacy not only on music but also on their ability to connect with millions of people worldwide in a genuine way. But as HYBE continues to expand its business empire and diversify into various industries, fans have long worried that the essence of BTS, the humanity, the artistry, the emotional core, could be overshadowed by profit-driven goals. Taehyung's regret, therefore, struck deeper than a private concern. It became symbolic of the universal struggle artists face when passion collides with pressure. Yet, if Taehyung's regret sent shockwaves through the fandom, Jungkook's response turned those waves into a tsunami. Instead of following the usual path of silence or carefully worded diplomacy, Jungkook made a move so startling that even ARMY, known for anticipating everything, was caught unprepared. His action was not rash or driven by anger. It wasn't an impulsive rebellion meant for spectacle. Rather, it carried a sense of deliberation, strategy, and unmistakable power. This led many to ask, had Jungkook just challenged the very structure of the world's most powerful entertainment company? Fans immediately dissected every possible interpretation of his actions. Known as the Golden Magne, Jungkook has always been a balancing force within BTS, versatile, adaptable, and steady in the face of turbulence. But this time, he disrupted the balance entirely. Eyewitnesses described his move as a statement without words, a symbolic gesture that resonated more powerfully than any speech could have. The lack of clear explanation only heightened the drama. Was Jungkook acting to protect Taehyung? Was it a stand against HYBE's strategy? Or was it a redefinition of his own future role within BTS? Each possibility carried enormous implications. The ripple effects were immediate. Within hours, social media platforms exploded. Millions of posts, hashtags, and videos flooded timelines, turning the situation into a global conversation not just about BTS, but about deeper issues of power, loyalty, and control in the entertainment industry. To some, Taehyung's regret appeared as a demand for accountability, while Jungkook's bold step was read as a shield, a warning, and a declaration all at once. What made this controversy particularly intense was the atmosphere it created. BTS had weathered scandals before, contract disputes, personal hardships, rumors, but this situation felt heavier. It wasn't about an isolated conflict or a misunderstanding that time could smooth over. It touched the very foundation of BTS's identity, the trust between artist and agency, the bond between members, and the relationship with ARMY that has defined their success. Every silence, every glance, and every action was magnified under a global microscope. The emotional intensity was almost unbearable. ARMY, known for resilience and passion, found themselves split between heartbreak and pride. Many were devastated to see Taehyung seemingly burdened by regret over what appeared to be an irreversible decision. Others, however, celebrated Jungkook's response as an act of courage, independence, and loyalty to his members. The paradox was striking. It was a moment that was both painful and empowering, something only BTS could inspire. But beneath the storm of emotion lies the pressing question: what does this mean for the future of BTS? Analysts offered different takes. Some argued that the group had entered a new era, one that might involve renegotiating its relationship with HYBE, the company that both nurtured and constrained it. Others suggested this moment could be a catalyst for a broader shift in the K-pop industry itself, where the balance of power between corporations and artists might finally tilt. Could Jungkook's move spark change beyond BTS, influencing how idols everywhere are treated? Though no one can answer definitively, one thing is clear: Taehyung's regret has already changed the narrative. His vulnerability challenged the carefully polished perfection expected of K-pop idols. Jungkook's action, in turn, transformed that vulnerability into strength, forcing fans, media, and even HYBE to confront uncomfortable truths about loyalty, trust, and the cost of decisions made behind closed doors. The storm continues, but the lesson is undeniable: BTS is not simply a music group. They are a cultural force, a mirror reflecting both the brilliance and the flaws of the entertainment system. Their actions, whether deliberate or misunderstood, have the power to shift global conversations. The intensity of this narrative, combining Taehyung's regret and Jungkook's unexpected move, has left fans and critics perched on edge, waiting for the next word, the next sign, the next revelation. And perhaps that is the greatest power BTS holds: the ability to transform even silence into history. However, while the emotional spectacle has captivated millions, it is also necessary to acknowledge the thin foundation on which much of the hysteria rests. On closer examination, there is little verified evidence that Taehyung explicitly expressed regret over any specific HYBE decision. The so-called gestures and visible frustration described by observers are largely speculative interpretations, not confirmed facts. Similarly, there is no official clarity on Jungkook's unexpected move. While his actions may have been unusual, the idea that they were a direct protest or rebellion against HYBE remains unsubstantiated. This phenomenon reveals the volatile nature of fandom culture in the digital age. Social media spreads rumors at lightning speed, transforming speculation into accepted truth within hours. Once amplified widely enough, narratives begin to live on their own.